10 Minutes That Changed Pearl Harbor tells the story of that fateful day through the lens of precise timing, decisions, and unforeseen consequences that turned a seemingly ordinary morning in Hawaii into the beginning of a global catastrophe. From the first light of December 7th, 1941, there was a sense of routine at Pearl Harbor. Soldiers conducted morning inspections, ships prepared for scheduled maneuvers, officers dealt with paperwork and reports, and nothing in the sky hinted at the approaching tragedy. Yet behind the calm of these routines lay the silent preparation for one of the most sudden and devastating attacks in human history. Japanese pilots, flying over the ocean, carried with them the weight of decades of tension, planning, and strategy aimed at crippling the United States military power in the Pacific. Their planes, perfectly aligned in formation, seemed like tiny specks on the horizon, yet each one carried destruction and death. From the very first seconds of the attack, chaos and terror took hold. Explosions shattered the morning quiet, columns of smoke rose above the battleships, and sparks and shrapnel scattered across the water and sky. Those on duty tried to respond, but the surprise and precision of the assault left them little chance to mount an effective defense. Planes fell, ships burned, and soldiers and sailors fought for their lives, rescuing comrades and attempting to preserve whatever they could of the fleet. Within those 10 minutes, events unfolded that would determine the course of the Pacific theater of World War II. Decisions made by commanders in the initial moments were critical. Ships that managed to open fire inflicted some damage, but most were unable to withstand the barrage of bombs and torpedoes. In the air, a mixture of panic and determination, fear and heroism prevailed, where every moment could be the last. The stories of individual people intertwine with the scale of the tragedy. A sailor, pinned to his gun, continues to fire as explosions tear through the deck. A young pilot experiencing real war for the first time loses friends in seconds. An officer makes life or death decisions, knowing that a single mistake could cost not only his career, but an entire ship. These 10 minutes became a concentrated moment of human destiny and the chaos of war, where heroism and tragedy exist side by side. The consequences of the attack were catastrophic. Losses of ships, destruction of the base, and thousands of lives lost shifted the strategic balance in the Pacific. For American society, it was a shock, a turning point that shattered the illusion of security and pushed the nation into war. In every home, in every letter written afterward, there was the bitter realization that the world would never be the same. Yet these 10 minutes also sparked incredible resolve. Historians would later analyze the actions of every unit, commander, and response to understand how things might have turned out differently. Although the tragedy of Pearl Harbor forever symbolizes sudden strikes and human vulnerability, it also became a lesson in courage, selflessness, and strategic thinking that allowed the United States and its allies to eventually turn the tide of war. Every sound of an explosion, every cry of a soldier, every splash of water tells the story of how moments can change history. These 10 minutes are not only a military event, but a reminder of the fragility of human life and how quickly normal reality can turn into chaos. We see how the decisions of a single day can shape the fate of entire nations, and we understand that history does not write itself. It is created by people with all their mistakes, fears, and heroism. Every instant of that morning is filled with details that cannot be conveyed through dry statistics. The sound of sirens, the smell of smoke, the heat of explosions, the flash of metal and water, the reflection of the morning sun, in the eyes of those who realize that nothing would ever be the same. It is through these details that the full picture of the tragedy is conveyed, helping us understand not only the course of events, but the depth of human experience endured by those on site. The story of Pearl Harbor is one of courage, horror, strategy, chance, and inevitability. It shows how 10 minutes can change not only a person's life, but the fate of the entire world, how a moment in history can determine centuries ahead. Looking back through letters, diaries, photographs, and memories, we realize that the true power of history lies not only in events themselves, but in the human experience they leave behind.